Let's assume that the group is someplace safe, that they're washed, that they've disposed of their sewer garb, whether they just left them down there or got them stashed someplace or getting them cleaned somewhere professionally.
Well, on the off chance that we might have to go back down there, clean professionally might be a good idea.
Okay. Well, it might cost you like about half as much to get them properly cleaned as it would just to get some other ones. So it's something you guys can consider. It was about a gold rilk to have, to get some gear that would stand up to the rigors of the Lankhmar sewers.
How effective would using the prestidigitation to clean work, or is it too much for that 0 level spell?
If you spent like the whole night on one thing, it would probably clean it like satisfactorily where it wouldn't like stink of the sewers.
Or we can just chuck it.
Yeah, or you just leave it behind somewhere. Or you could pay, like I say, you could pay a washerwoman a couple silver smarducks to get it cleaned up professionally and pick it up a few days later after it's been aired and dried and all that stuff. Let's assume that you're someplace, you're all cleaned up, you're safe, you're probably dividing up the loot. Where do you think that might be?
Didn't a couple of our party members have an apartment in town?
Yeah,
or the temple, or
yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere where it's like not in public setting.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Aevus, I mean, the temple Aevus is renting works too.
Yep. Aevus is renting this temple right
This
here.
will look familiar.
So that Avis now, this temple is like dedicated to her god, goddess. We should.
I closed it. Oops.
What kind of things go on at that temple during the day, Avis? Is it mostly just caring for the people who have been affected by the ousting of the old temple, or have you kind of done other things with that?
The ones ousting from the old temple. What did I do? There it is. Okay, from the old temple.
Like the people that would come there to get drugs, basically on a daily basis.
Yeah, they're getting treated through the withdrawals, but mostly at night it's not used as a refuge for people to stay unless it's a desperate need.
Yeah, it's not a halfway
It's the
house,
main
but
temple.
in the daytime they can get some food and
Food and worship and
yeah,
clean clothes and whatnot. So
yeah, maybe a little reaffirmation and get them back on their feet, kind of thing. Okay.
then learn about the earth.
So, on the way back down, because this is on the way, I imagine you guys would go down the Street of the Gods, or take a route perpendicular to the Street of the Gods. Once you got, there's bathhouses and stuff like that along the way, so I'd imagine that you probably would stop in there to get cleaned up before making your way all the way to Avis's place.
Bathhouse sounds great.
Right.
There is, you notice that gentleman who was preaching, that stood out, and you guys listened to him go all the way through, almost like his circle. He started with a line, and then he would go all the way through. He had like a 3 or 4 minute spiel, and then he would stop for a minute and mutter some things to people, look around to see who was paying attention to him, and then he would just start up again. It was almost like he was in a loop. Zed tried to connect with him a little bit, a few times. It's clear that the man was either on some sort of, not a drug, but he's maybe had some kind of a break, or maybe he's on some sort of mystical journey that Zed's unable to understand. But Zed took a definite interest in him. And you kind of felt that maybe Zed was experiencing something similar. Probably wasn't having the same effect. Zed was probably a lot more strong-minded than this person. But you definitely remember him. He stuck out. And as you're making your way back towards the temple, or actually more like a church, or what's the name of your god again, Aevus? Is it Tyaa?
Yita.
Yita.
Yeah.
Making your way back towards the church of Tyaa. Yita. You see him again, and he has gathered a small crowd around him, and he is in front of the temple of the spider god. The god's name is Mog. Is he an old Lankhmar god? It's from the far east. You're not really sure about the tenets of the god's faith. It's one of those gods that's always been sort of always popular in Lankhmar for whatever reason. And the Temple of the Spider God is right here. If you check out the Lankhmar map, it's at the center of the big blue circle. It's a circular building. I'll send that back out again in case anyone doesn't have that map. On the Street of the Gods, the big blue circle. It's the circular building within there. And this man's down the street, probably about close to the intersection of the Street of the Silk Merchants and the Street of the Gods. And he has maybe half a dozen people listening to him. And he's going through the same loop. And I can play it for you again, but I have to go get my iPad. I'm not sure you'd want to hear it all anyway. He's going through the same story about, the man who in the city looked out his window every night, gazed to the sky, and then finally he merged with the void. So yeah, I don't know if you want to interact with him, or he doesn't really do anything differently. He goes through his story. He can't really be stopped until he gets to the point where he pauses and looks around and tries to interact with people, but he really doesn't say much other than, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Yes, you can feel yes, you know that. And then after a couple minutes, he just starts up again. So whether this man's insane or something else is going on, you're not certain. But now he's kind of relocated down near the Temple of Mog, so that's a spider god. So when you get past Cheap Street and down to near the Marsh Gate, you get to the Temple of Tyaa. And I imagine you guys would probably want to divvy up your loot. I don't know if you want to do anything else.
We want to do that in a place where it's just us in the room.
Yeah, the back rooms are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
there wouldn't be anybody in the temple right now anyway.
Yeah, and you probably have the only set of keys other than the landlord. So, temple's all quiet. The decor is quite a bit different than the frog god and the bowl of flames, Shithakwa.
Warm and welcoming, earthy tones.
All is quiet. Doesn't seem to be anybody following you around, or Doesn't seem to be anything lurking. Which is, sometimes you have to double check. You know, you guys are...
We do need to report back to the Lord to let him know that it's finally over. The demise of... Forget how to properly pronounce her name, Mhyrria. So
Yep.
it's like a really funky spelling, but it sounded like Mhyrria.
Mm-hmm.
So that he knows that that's not going to be a problem anymore.
And Zed says, yeah, and it's the box of what looks like might have been her effects.
Yes, I still have that on me, I think.
So at what time is it? Late into the night, or is it?
No, not at all. You guys went just after nightfall, and the amount of time you spent in the temple was nominal. Maybe an hour. Say half an hour getting cleaned up afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like 10 o'clock. You know that probably until the midnight bell rings, Lord Dannal would be comfortably at the gallery.
So do we want to go there tonight or rest and contemplate?
We should heal up before we go, so we don't walk in looking all wounded.
Yeah.
I can fix that a little bit.
I have 7 hangnails. That's not metagaming at all, is
No, no.
Only 7.
Luna's got a scab that requires 15 stitches. Yeah, I think Aevus is probably the most wounded of all.
Yeah, I definitely am.
I would imagine you guys probably would have healed up once you got to the door to get back into the waterman's berth and go upstairs. You know, once you got away from everyone's eyes, kind of thing.
Yeah. Do we want to just...
Because I'll use the spell slots and...
Yeah, click what we use and just call it good, or roll it out, or what do you want to do?
We almost have to kind of roll it out, because I don't know if we're going to have enough to get everybody healed up fully. But Night's Rest is going to give you a 4 back.
Well, before we rest, I'd use up the spells I have. And
Okay.
I'm sure Aevus would do the same, and I have 3 uses of Cure Light Wounds.
Oh, that's right, too. And Arthur has some as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so let's click. Oh, hey, Scott.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were in. Excellent.
Joined in a couple minutes ago.
Very good. All right. Yeah, so, okay, we could just assume that everyone's good. We don't need to roll it out then.
Yeah, I got 6 more use. I use every...
Okay. And do you guys want to go over to the gallery, or do you want to just maybe wait for another time, or it's up to you?
I mean, going to the gallery's always been fun. Let me roll out these.
We make double check that we're going to go to the gallery not smelling like soup.
Yeah, you guys are all cleaned up.
Okay.
Let me roll these. Because I'll use all of the fervor, because I don't think I used any. I think I used 1.
They're on the same street. They're just okay.
So I've got 4 more uses of that.
Is that like
That's the channeled ability.
Oh, okay. You do 4 dice, or is it...
I can do up to 4 more dice. So I have 14 I can spread between the party.
Okay, so
It's...
how does it work? Does everybody get 14, or does you have to...
I'll divvy it up, and then I'll...
Oh, okay. I'm just asking for a friend. Not sure how that one works. You guys have characters that I think I only know how to play Luna.
Yeah. Because it lets me, for each charge, I can use 1d6
Okay.
of the channel energy fervor, because it's got both names. It's both fervor and channel energy.
So channel energy is a burst that gets everybody?
So
I think that's what it normally is. And fervor is like a touch that almost like a lay on hands.
yes.
Okay.
I just don't have a way to track both of those, so I have to flip pages. Sorry.
Okay, let's see here. Got to be the way to do it.
Yeah, because it takes fervor charges, and I have 5 fervor charges, so I have 2 left. So I had 4 left. So
Okay. Let us do this. Class. And I'll fix this up later on.
I'll remind you after.
Okay, cool. All right. So the supper club. The usual situation occurs. Rakonash is outside. He's taking a smoking a pipe this evening, and his raggedy like do rag that he almost always has on him, just to keep his hair out of his eyes, almost like a bandana kind of deal. It's gone, and his hair is kind of oiled over and neatly combed. He's sitting on the stairs outside, keeping watch over the club like he normally does. And he sees everybody, and his eyes light up. Well, hello. Didn't think I'd
Good
see you
evening.
all tonight. Evening.
And
I
Aevus
see
will,
you're done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're here from my lord?
If he hasn't to speak with us.
Yeah, he's just sitting quietly tonight. Nothing going on. No business meetings, no in and out. I think he just wanted to get out of the house today.
Aevus pulls something from her side and holds out the dagger.
Ah, okay. So Rakonash reaches out his hand and just kind of like lays it below it and says, "Coming useful?"
Didn't need to use
Unused.
Ah,
it, sadly.
he takes it out and checks the blade. Very good, very good. He tucks it in his belt.
I did sharpen it a bit, but
Wow, that's appreciated. Feel free to go on up. I think my lord's feeling a little blue tonight. So it's he didn't express why, but I can probably guess. But it's good to see you all in good health. Everything go as planned.
It went well enough, I'd say.
more questions than answers, as always.
I see. Well, I didn't hear the temple bells ring out, so I took that as a good sign. Any repercussions from the evening before?
a strangely unique thank you and pass to be there.
All right, then. Well, it's good to know all as well. Would you mind if I joined you all, or I can stay out here, though? Understood.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lock the door behind us so we can have some privacy. Okay, so he lets everyone go ahead, and he gets a key from out of one of his pouches, and up the outside stairs you go, and in through the door, and he locks them behind. It's just it's Lord Dannal. He's got like a long cigar that he's like maybe halfway through. He's probably been smoking it for probably a fair while by the haze that's in the room, and he's got like a 3/4 of a decanter of wine sitting in front of him. He's got a wine glass, and he's just kind of gazing off when the door opens and you guys all come in, and his look goes from kind of blank to he lights up a little bit. Oh, come in, my friends. It's good to see you this night. Take a seat. What can we get you?
I'm in the mood for some wine, if that's not too much trouble.
I've got a fine vintage here if you're into reds.
Sure.
Anyone else say the word, and my man Rackernash will see to it. Rackernash nods.
I'll abstain. Good sir.
Whatever you suggest. She looks at Rackernash.
He says that's a fine vintage he has there. The Lord tells no lies. I had one earlier. So he gets a bunch of glasses out, wine for whoever wants, and then Rackernash pours himself a beer from a keg that they've recently split. So what brings you by this evening? Lord Dannal says, as he ashes the cigar.
Is this when we bring out the letter?
Who's the one we had the letter?
It was in the box I had from Mhyrria's.
What's in the box?
There was some shiny things in the box and a couple of letters, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, there was a couple rings. There was some coins that I added to your coin total, and there was just like a folded velvet cloth that didn't really seem to have any significance, and within the folded velvet cloth was this letter.
I think we wanted to show him that letter just to kind of prove we found where her spot was, and then share with them that we think that it's over.
Because didn't it have the name of somebody we had thought we had hit some kind of recognition for?
It was didn't the letter name a family member, like previous generation?
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Valinor.
his yeah, I'm not sure who knew if yeah, I think somebody in your group knew that Essen Valinor is Dannal Valinor's father. He's no longer Lord. He's now Count Essen Valinor.
I think you had me roll a knowledge local to identify that, and since she has strong knowledge local, I think I did decent enough.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted him to see it. So definitely handing this over to Lord Dannal.
Just kind of like sliding the whole box over to him.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. Well, I don't think he's gonna like burn it and run off cackling or something.
Okay. He says, "Oh, you didn't get me a gift, did you?" It's because it's like a fine mahogany box.
It's a gift, but
It's
not
a gift of
necessarily
sorts.
a tangible gift. But I think you'll be pleased.
I see. Well, thank you. I get so few gifts. Usually, I am the giver of gifts. This touches me a little. And
You might want to read the note before you
Going
decide.
to open it.
Regardless, I appreciate this. And he opens the box and the rings, kind of curious. You notice too that when he does it, he's assessing like value right now.
Oh,
How
right.
expensive?
He's
Like, how
making
much money did we just spend on him?
Yeah,
an appraise check, yeah.
yeah. Like
Of course, we would recognize an appraise check being done, yeah. Being treasured.
he definitely, but he seems kind of like quizzical. It's a quizzical look as well. Like okay, there's a significance to this that he's not getting right off the bat, and then he takes out the letter and he reads it, and it takes him a moment to digest what he has in his hands. And then he, when done, he folds it back up neatly as it was and slips it back in between the folds of the velvet cloth and closes the box back up and looks around.
Did you like it?
I did and I didn't. But I am grateful for you bringing it to me. It shows that we're friends, and I don't have many of those. I appreciate you coming to me with this. I don't know if you remember the night that we met.
It was a month ago for me.
The night when I first met these other companions of yours was the night of fear, and I was in a rather bad way. But before that, I was to sit down and talk to a man who claimed to have information about my father. Information that I would pay dearly for to have not get into Lankhmar society. And I can only assume that this is the paper that Luke had on me.
I think Mhyrria had it. That's where we found it.
Rackernash says, well, I think Mhyrria might have taken it off of Luke's body when she killed him in the carriage that night.
Yeah.
And then Valinor says, or Dannal says, so I believe that was my mother. As impossible as that seems. A woman of just over 22 years. How old would you make her to be? Less than 25 in her appearance?
Oh, Mhyrria?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she
she
had
was,
no crow's feet at the corners or laugh lines.
yeah.
I'm in my mid-30s. My father, his health is failing. He's past his 70th summer. The impossibilities continue.
You're welcome, Ray.
My that is my family seal. Inric. I knew my father had a brother by the name of Inric, and he had told us that Inric went to the city of the King of Kings, Hoberixen, to study to become a red wizard. And never returned to the city. My Aunt Tanya passed away probably about a dozen years ago. I don't see the significance of this, though. I don't see what would be so damning in this letter that would warrant my father potentially losing his place at court.
Perhaps they wanted to leverage what she had become.
I don't know.
Is there more we should be on the lookout for? Something else that might, an entity might have?
I haven't been bothered or disturbed by any of this since that night, since the precautions were taken. I should have to discuss this with my father and perhaps pry into the family business, which I was kind of hoping to avoid. Sometimes it's best not knowing certain things.
Ignorance is bliss, but knowledge is power.
From what I understand, money. Money is power. It's I don't like to.
But money can buy you knowledge.
I leave that for the extortioners. I'm a moneylender. I exchange. I loan. I rent. I own. I do not coerce. I ask, I pay for, I am paid. I do not understand the way of the extortionists. But clearly this was some sort of leverage. I should return it to my father and hope to have it maybe all put behind me and us. But my friends, I thank you for returning it to me. I am overjoyed to know the only 6 honest people in Lankhmar. These rings clearly would have been sold by almost any other person in the city. Let me reward you for your honesty. And he gives you what he figures the value of the rings are in gold. And it's not insignificant. These are rings that a nobleman had given to his bride-to-be for engagement and marriage. And it was 250 gold rilks between the two of them. So we'll divide that up between everybody.
He owns a pawn shop or several pawn shops. Is that
He owns
right?
several. He owns probably about 24 properties too, that he's the landlord of.
In the shops, do they? I mean, they probably have what one would expect based on their title, like the type of stuff that they would sell. But does he also sell like stuff to just friends,
Yeah, definitely.
like the? I don't know what specifically I would ask for, but things that you probably wouldn't ask for on the street.
Things that you wouldn't say that you'd gotten
Yeah,
had you procured them.
correct.
Okay, I know where you're going with that. He says, yeah, occasionally. Sometimes those items are more trouble than what they're worth, but
Yeah.
occasionally, I will take an item that is of no interest to the Thieves Guild or the Sorcerers Guild. Was there something in particular?
No, it's just that I couldn't think of something specific I was wanting, so just wanted to know if there was a place we could go should such a thing come to mind that might have a shot at having it.
Yeah. He's got, like I say, he's got three shops throughout the city. It's not like quote an air quote magic item. It's not something that a standard clerk at a pawn shop would recognize to purchase. But as he was making his rounds, he's got some sorcerer's talents. He might recognize something and take it off the inventory and put it away. From time to time, these things do come up. A lot of times, though, he will, just because of his father's relationship with the Overlord and his own relationship with the guild, he will get those back to the Sorcerers Guild, especially if it's something stolen from
Right.
like a ranking member of like a Sorcerers Guild member or a Thieves Guild member. He says, if knowledge is what you're seeking, I would be willing to vouch for you to go to the Great Library.
That'd
Which,
be
of
great.
course, that the only the nobility and the highest ranking members of the most prestigious churches have access to.
Well, you never know when we need to do some research there, so that would be wonderful.
I'm not sure how else to reward you.
Well, we are looking for the next great adventure.
Well, you never know when that's going to pop up, do you? Does Rackernesh know about your business with Jann Pickett? I can't remember whether he's in
What-
the
I'm
know on
sorry.
that.
What was? I don't know if I'm in the know on that. I can't remember what
The
that
hand
is.
in the box that I blessed because the guy was getting the hand coming up from the sewers. Because it was the guy that was wanting the key to lock the door.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he knows that or not.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. Who's got the best knowledge local skill?
Well, Sami's is decent.
If somebody
What's the
could beat a
skills?
DC 30, I might give you a little information.
Okay. Take that.
Oh, that was so close.
Everybody assist me and we'll get to 30. Come on, let's do it.
Hey, well, I mean, I don't know. Am I allowed to assist you now? Can I use communal aid minor
Oh,
and give you a
geez.
+4?
Yes. Yes,
I
you can.
forgot what city I live in.
I give a +4 because
Okay, so that's +6 between the +4 and the +2 from Asami for the assist. Okay. You're not really sure if even Lord Dannal knows, but he probably has a bit of his mother's blood, like racially, in game terms. He's a damn fear.
Ooh.
His habits are mostly nocturnal. He does go out during the day. He's got a carriage. He goes around town. He does this and that. He's up a lot at night. He doesn't seem to. You've never seen him out in the sun or anything like that. He probably doesn't know that how he feels and stuff like that is because maybe his mother at the time of his birth was experiencing some sort of vampirism. That was 35 years ago. So how does that happen? And you don't expect people to age when they're vampires, but you would expect that if someone like Mhyrria was haunting the city for 35 years, a group like you would have gotten contact with her and maybe did her in. And that she would have contacted her son previous to. Or she would have haunted the family previous to. Her escapades on the night of fear, they seemed rehearsed, but they also, now that you're thinking about it, they don't seem very well thought out. Like she was trying to get people to Lord Dannal's house while he was heavily drugged. You're not sure why. Maybe she was trying to make him into a full-blooded vampire. Maybe she was trying to pass beyond the powers of her own master. Because you guys identified the fact that she wasn't like a free-willed vampire. Like she was... she seemed to be acting on her own, but she wasn't as powerful as what the books described vampires to be.
So one step above a thrall, but a step or two below an actual.
Yeah, an actual like a vampire lord or something like that. So in game terms, you kind of now make the the connection that there is. Yeah, now you kind of see it a little bit. Now that you think about it more and more. Not that that makes Lord Dannal a bad person or anything like that. It's the same as like Luna. Luna is an elf, but in game terms, it's not like this isn't like a Tolkien kind of story where the elves live. Blah blah blah. I would say that like Luna is probably from a place south of Lankhmar or north of Lankhmar where they have like a vast forest society, and she's made her way. And you see elven people all the time. You see dwarves, you see halflings, you see gnomes. Race doesn't really play a big role in Lankhmar. It's more like who you are. Let's see here. That's a good question. I don't think that he does. I don't think that being a Dhampir changes your creature type. He's a humanoid with a Dhampir subtype. So you don't. So if you do that, I would just say that you would have the chance to do that, Aevus, and he wouldn't.
Okay, that calms her concern then.
Maybe like a sorcerer's bloodline, more like something that maybe Arthur might have some recognition for. All right. Anything else that you want to do or say or ask Lord Dannal about? Or
The wine was delicious.
he says yes, it was Tovilian vintage. Just recently required a whole case of it. I couldn't allow that to be sold on the street, so I had it packed up and sent here. Whatever happened to the that thing we had on ice down in the basement? Whatever became of that? That was the slod from your.
The creature?
Yeah, the slod.
That's a good question.
I think didn't you guys take it to Ledbetter's?
I don't remember. We acquired it.
Well, you killed it.
After yeah, but the remains, I mean, after the theater incident, right?
Yeah, you guys dragged it out of the theater.
Yeah. Have there been any more stories of that incident that's gone around?
Oh yeah, it's gotten more and more outrageous as days go by. There's 6 giants.
6 giant lunas. Oh my goodness.
6 giants. A giant frog creature. And the theater is back up and running. It had only stayed down for a couple days. The quote unquote spook shows that they have become more and more elaborate over the last couple months since that incident. The Midnight Theater has become more. It's kind of like a place of danger now that you can go to. You never know what's going to happen at the Midnight Theater, and all the con men and charlatans and street performers and stuff like that. Anybody who has a show like. I can see there's a person in your family with a B in their name. Oh, yeah. There's quite an uptick in that as opposed to the actual plays that are going on, and it's doing a brisk business every night after dark, and the shows always go until midnight, which is how the theater gets its name. And it's just up the street from the. It's about a block away from Aevus's church. All
Well,
right.
you should probably get back and get some rest. I'm not sure if we actually slept and recovered yet or not. Is that?
No, you haven't. This is still the same night as the temple, and
This has been a long day. We probably ought to get back and get some rest.
yeah, said he's gonna go back to his place and turn in. Are we gonna meet beforehand tomorrow night, or are we going to just all go there at a certain time, or what time did he want us to come anyway?
I thought it was in the evening after the shop closed.
Yeah, I think I remember something like that myself. And Rackernash and Lord Dannal kind of, well, we've got something lined up, do you? Excellent. Rackernash is a little curious. If you don't have to tell me, you don't mind if I ask. It's just curious. I find stories like these rather thrilling.
I'm sure I could tell you the tale if you're interested.
I don't remember the tale. The character does, but I don't. I could roll a perform oratory and relay a great story. Just I have no idea what I was saying.
All right, it was the Jann Pickett, the locksmith. Let's go right back to the very, very start of everything. This is good for everybody. This catches up Lou, in addition to, because this goes back to basically to session 1 in its own little way, and all the adventures that have gone on have kind of led up to this point.
Yeah.
So you guys met on the night of fear at Last Chance, and a woman burst in saying she needed some help to get home. And of course, being the heroes that you were, you escorted her through the Lankhmar night on the night that nobody takes to the streets in the city for fear of the gods of Lankhmar walking the streets. The tale is that anyone out on the streets past sundown on the night of fear is slain by the actual gods of Lankhmar. And the gods of Lankhmar, their temple is at the very end of the Street of Gods, which is, oddly enough, not far from where you guys just spent your night in the Forbidden Temple. You're not really 100% sure why it was forbidden, but maybe it was because of the hubris of putting it along the Street of the Gods, even further up than the actual Street of the Gods of Lankhmar. So anyway, you escort her through the night. As soon as you get outside, there's some sounds of men moving about and whistles and stuff like that. You follow the noise and you get ambushed by a team of seems like slayers. And then you make your way back down Carter Street after dispatching of some of them. Some of them run away. Some of them fall. I think Luna dealt death to one of them. You get all the way down to near Carter and Cash. Probably near Bones Alley. And there was a tipped over tipped over carriage. The horse, there was a horse that had escaped. There's another horse that was dead. It was skewered on like a wrought iron fence. The carriage was tipped over. Inside the carriage, I don't really know if you had a look or not, but Rackernash and his men were there, and they were surveying the situation, and they were working for Lord Dannal. They were following the carriage. Rackernash quickly let you guys know that you didn't have to be violence. We also let you know that you were also surrounded on the rooftops if you did choose to do anything funny. So thinking better of it, you escorted Mhyrria, who at the time Rackernash was told to follow. He let you guys go, and he stayed with his job, which was cleaning up after Luke the extortionist, who he found dead inside the carriage. You guys got to Lord Dannal's house, discovered him drugged. Of course, Mhyrria went through some kind of change just as it was getting to be about midnight. The battle ensued. She fled after she was basically destroyed by you guys. And from that point on, you started kind of adventuring together. The next adventure that you went on, Lord Dannal asked you to please return a book that one of his men, Popov, who was a member of the Sorcerers Guild, had borrowed from him, and it was at his home. Popov, you learned, had specifically requested this tome, which was the Ebon Grimoire, which of course played its big role in the adventure with the temple in the swamp. And the way that he opened the Ebon Grimoire was the fingerbone of the dead Master Thief, which I believe Arthur now has in his possession, which he got Jann Pickett to use on the book to open it for him. Then, after you recovered the Ebon Grimoire, you learned that the fingerbone of the dead Master Thief was stolen, which led you all the way to the swamp and Veltargo, the cult of Shithakwa, which subsequently led to Ningabal's cave, and he explained that you did a great service for Lankhmar, and that you were up and coming heroes, and that in the days to come, Lankhmar would need heroes. Back to town, and then you've since that time tracked down Mhyrria, and that leads you to here. But during that time, Jann Pickett, the man whom originally tasked you to find the fingerbone of the dead Master Thief, came to see you, and you could probably guess that there was some dread among the group. How does he know that we have the key and stuff like that? But he asked if you found it and assumed that you didn't. He seemed to have other things on his mind, and the things on his mind were he was awoken, and you're doing the math on this, like how many days back and the amount of time that you spent in Ningabal's cave, and this would have happened then, and this would have happened then. It was about the time that the fingerbone was used to open up the Ebon Grimoire. A secret door in his house, which was magically sealed by the Sorcerers Guild, opened. And from that door, a skeletal hand, missing a finger, clutched at his neck. And he woke up and managed to retrieve his hammer and bash it to bits. And as he was doing that, it started to reform. So he gathered the bits of the hand, put it in a metallic box that he has, closed up the box. And then he went about sealing the door, because the door itself, it's not like a regular door. It's more like a wall in his home that was almost impossible to see. Now that it was wide open, you'd have a tough time keeping it closed. There wasn't any hinges on it or anything like that traditional. So he pushed a couch up against it, and he started nailing down hunks of wood and stuff like that, just haphazardly trying to seal this door, because there was more of these hands coming up the stairs. And ever since that time, all he could do is hear the scratching sound of the hands of the door, and he was losing sleep, and he didn't know where else to turn. And he also told you the story about when he first secured the finger of the dead master thief. He did so in the ruins of what lays below his home, far below the streets of Lankhmar, in something he spelled it out like this. He called it Jazadrune. Now this, he had spent some time down there, and this was like years and years and years ago, like decades, maybe 60, 70, 80 years. He's an old man now. He's a gnome, so they age a little differently than your regular human. So it was a rather large passage of time. And he described this area as like underground complex. There's a bunch of doors that have very specific keys that need to open them. They have like a really strange shape, almost like a cog or a gear. He was able to get to a room through an illusionary wall, and on that, in that room, past that wall, is a map that he was able to copy on a piece of leather. Now, the story of this area, and he knew it well because this is where he bought his home originally, with the thought that one day he was going to be able to explore this area once everything had, passage of time, forgotten that it was there. The story went that there was a sorceress. She had an enclave of sorts that had risen in power to the point that it grew to be a threat to both the Sorcerers Guild and the Thieves Guild. And that in sealing it up, the head of the Sorcerers Guild had enlisted some sort of fantastic curse and sent a team of his most vicious thieves down to kill those in this complex. And then they sealed the door. Never to be opened again. But when the power of the finger bone went dormant, the seal on the door also went dormant. So he wanted somebody to go and investigate that. And he offered 200 gold pieces. 200 gold rilks. But somehow the Ebon Grimoire, the fingerbone of the dead master thief, and this place, Jazadrun. It's just the way he spelt out. He says all these doors all had their own individual rune. And as far as he remembers, the sorceress's name was Jazadrun. And Zed...
I did the sanctify in front of the door to give him a peaceful night's sleep.
You did. Absolutely did. And he was thankful. Very thankful for that. But you haven't seen him since. And that was, 3 nights ago? I think 2 or 3 nights. Ago. Two or three nights ago. Okay.
It was right before we killed Mhyrria.
Yes. The night before, yeah.
No, it was the same night.
Oh, it was the same night. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because I got to cast that twice in one day.
Oh, that's right, too. All right, so I imagine everybody goes their separate ways to prep. You've got, I would imagine, the better part of tomorrow to prepare anything that you wanted to do.
Sounds good. Everybody have an identified place and time to meet?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, Asami's still living at the Fat Chance.
Yep.
And Aevus goes back to the temple.
Okay. Zed and Bakai make their way to Zed's. Not sure if Arthur's got himself in place yet.
I believe I'm still at the. It was the Last Chance, is what it was called again.
Oh, okay. Got yourself.
Last Chance. Fatty that
last.
Not the Fat Chance.
I like the Fat Chance.
Fat Chance, actually.
I bet there's a person or two somewhere in Lankhmar that calls it that.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the perfect code name. If you say the Fat Chance, you guys will know exactly what it is, but nobody else will. Luna, off to mysterious places as always. Okay, next day. Anything?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Asami needs to earn her keep by doing a little performance.
All right, fire away. Gotta pay the bills. That's right.
Tending the temple and getting a couple more holy waters for our adventure.
Just,
okay.
When it's appropriate, do a little...
fire one ready.
Yeah. Yeah, she's tired. It's been a rough day.
You can tell her heart's not into it. It is a Sunday, too, so...
So Aevus is more busy than Asami.
And then go rest, recover, get ready.
All right. So Jann Pickett's home is called the Keyhole. Give the outside, a small turret dominates the facade of this 2-story blackstone building. Iron bars are embedded in thick window frames. Beyond the turret's ground floor windows, you can see a lovely display of locks, from large to small, simple to complex. To the left of the turret, above a heavy oak door, swings a simple sign that reads the Keyhole. And let me give you guys a night's rest, and you can reset your spells.
Oh. Excellent.
Where is it on here?
So is there anyone called the Gatekeeper or the Keymaster? I don't think Asami would be familiar with that story, though she is familiar with lots of stories.
Dana is Sewell. When you guys get there, after you've got your stuff set and all that, he did ask you to come around closing time. The curtain over the window and the main door is still it hasn't been pulled aside. You don't see close sign or anything like that. You can see Mr. Pickett is behind the counter, and he's got like a jeweler's loop, and he's tinkering around with something. He's got two metal tools. He's working at some kind of little gear or something like that. When whoever the first one to arrives. Based on his condition a couple days ago, his hands were shaking. He looks like he hadn't slept in weeks. He looks like he's focused, and despite his, I'd say in human years, he's probably about 70 years old. Aside from that, he looks like he's working away on something. He's got a smile on his face. He seems pretty cheerful.
Good evening.
Oh, hello. Hello. Come in. Come in. He's got a like a beaming smile on his face. He looks like he may have had his first good night's rest in ages. Over the last couple nights, he looks like whatever sort of magic that you did, the door. It was the tonic that healed all his ails. You can see that he was working on like a fairly complex lock that maybe was to be embedded somewhere. He sets down his little thing. He gets off his stoop, and he comes over and sticks his hand out. It's so good to see you again. So good to see you. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me. No more
Happy to help.
No more scratching.
There hasn't been any scratching.
No more scratching. It's a blessing. He says, we'll leave the door open for when your friends arrive. They'll get here when they get here. But yes, look, I clear-headed and feeling myself again. You notice that beyond the curtain for his back workroom, he's pushed his couch back over beneath his window. It's no longer at the door. It's no longer pegged down with blocks of wood or anything like that. You can see the wall itself. You can kind of see the outline of the door, although it blends really well. But what you can see is he's installed a large lock of his own creation that he seems fairly confident with. And he says, yes, listen. Do you hear it?
I hear nothing.
Exactly.
No scratching.
Precisely. It had been weeks. And it was incessant. I feel restored. So I have you to thank for that.
Glad to help.
Yes, very happy to help you.
Well, this lock here, I don't suspect it would keep the most skilled of thieves out from going down. But, well, that's no longer my problem, I don't think. I don't think anything that's that's beyond that door is able to get out from this, though. This is one side only. If someone was able to break it from the other side, then they're far more skilled at this than I am. And the lock is, to put it in gay terms, it's probably a DC 40 to do it from this side. To do it from the other side without access to the, I don't know, maybe not possible. Probably only done with magic. If such a magic existed. He says, yeah, all I needed was a night's sleep to regain my focus. And this young lady was kind enough to give me that.
Very happy to help.
No, we were coming here to show him something, right? Or no?
I think.
We were coming here to go down into the thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if that was something that you were still interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think we were, because he wanted to give us the money for it.
Yes, he's he says, I'll pay you up front. I don't expect it to be safe.
well, if it's so hard to open up here, but near impossible to open from the other side, certainly there's got to be a way for us to communicate when we're ready to come back.
Precisely.
Such that it can be open
And
for us.
what were your thoughts on that? Just a solid wrapping on the other side?
Well, I mean, I guess some kind of knocking code would be handy, unless there's a better way of communicating. It's us, you know. We could establish a James Bond passcode phrase.
I'm all ears, he says.
The flowers bloom in the winter, and then the response is, the book is red. Just something that's totally not related. That no one would guess that.
The eagle flies at midnight.
Yeah. I don't know. Just thoughts.
Yep. He's happy to take any input from anybody. He says, I will of course have to lock the door though once you do go down.
Yeah, can you hear us from the other side through the locked door?
We can experiment. Why don't we once you've assembled your group and I've paid you, why don't we I believe the agreed upon term was 200 gold rilks.
That sounds familiar.
Correct.
Okay. He says you have your the map. I gave it to you.
Yes.
All right, excellent.
No pickles.
Can you share it again so I could lock it at one of the bottom things?
For sure.
How do I lock it at the bottom things?
If you take that map and have it open, if you go to the very top, see where the little piezo symbol is, the little blue with the cross, right next to where the top left it says player map.
Aha, I see.
If you hover over that, and then you kind of click and drag it down into one of the number of slots from 1 to 12, then you can always access it.
I should do that with a couple of things later. But yay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so he opens the door for you.
chicken nuggets entered our house, and my dog is going to bark. I apologize for that in advance.
That's okay. Chicken nuggets are always a perfect time for celebration.
What type of door is it? Like, does it have a lock? Keyhole?
He's got a lock on the outside that he has a key for that he doesn't suspect anyone would be able to open from the inside. So you have to have like some kind of signal with him to get him to open the door again. Because once
Okay. Can we put a string through the hole and then attach bells to it?
we can definitely do that.
Okay.
Okay.
If there's vampires in here, they'll be able to get out through the keyhole. Yeah.
It's not through the wall.
Okay.
It's more like it goes across like a deadbolt on the outside. So there's no he didn't drill all the way through the wall. So there's just the crack that goes all the way around it, which is about as precise a seal as can be produced. So it's probably not airtight. And if you could fit a string through it, then I guess you could technically have a vampire come through.
I get candle wax and seal it, except for where the string is.
Okay. He can close it off and then do that after you guys go in, and then do that
I
every.
don't trust them. We'll do that from the inside.
Oh, okay, for sure. So let me open it up first, and you guys can take a look. I like Luna's paranoia here. So what I'll do is I'll just shift.
Like, who wants to go in here, right?
Yeah, this is a
Scary.
yeah, it's a cursed dungeon that
Yeah.
and let's see here. Let's open. Feel free to move around in there. I'll close that door. Yeah, you can ring the bell, and he bangs on the door with a hammer. You guys can hear. You take a few minutes to seal the door off once I read this to you. So this is...
Are tokens supposed to be visible?
I believe so.
I don't see anything.
They're not. Not this again.
Could you try reopening the map on everybody?
Yeah, just give me 1 second too. Oh, there we go. Is that better?
That's better. Now I can see.
Okay. So before we move too far, a lot of traps, a lot of stuff like that here. So be careful. Let's just get the light situation, and we'll do all the stuff that we're going to do. So anyway, as soon as you get in there, it's a stone staircase. It steps shrouded with cobwebs and dust, descends 20 feet to a 10-foot square landing, then bends to the right and plunges into darkness. Scattered throughout the dust is the numerous remnants of bone shards. And you look, it is the shards of at least double digits of human hands. Skeletal.
Yeah, Luna, I like where your head's at. I'm going to do that too.
So let's check all the minis and see who can see what. Let me get the preview vision for...
Didn't actually.
Let's enable disable lighting. Okay. So let's see here. Let's put lights on
I can-
tokens. Who's got what for light? Who needs what?
I can use a. I believe it was a bullseye lantern I had.
Okay.
Yeah, bullseye
Uh,
lantern.
I've got dark vision, so I should be fine.
Yeah.
If there is no other source of light, Lasami will cast light on her hot poker.
How'd that work for you, Arthur?
Let me take a look. There we go.
Okay.
I believe it's a 60-foot cone. It was.
So let's go. I'll just change it to this for now. I don't have a way to change the shape of the light.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anybody else can't see, or anybody else need a light or have like a light spell on them?
I have the spell on me. It appears to be working because I can see the hallway. I cannot see where it corners. I'm moving, and when I move, it does work.
Okay,
Everything's
spell
working.
light for Asami plus. Did that change anything?
It appears to be functioning like it should.
Okay, excellent.
I'm going to cast Dancing Lights. And I'm going to cast Unseen Servant.
Okay.
And I'm going to give my Unseen Servant a club and a shield. And he's going to lead the way.
Okay. Let's get a mini for him. Let's see here.
Can't see him.
I haven't put him on yet.
He's unseen servant. Can't
That's
see him.
right. Let's see here.
We know how big down here is, or no?
Every square is 5 feet, so it's a 20-foot drop to the next 10 by 10 landing way. So this is pretty big. I mean, you 10-foot wide hallway, 10. So it's about 40 feet from one end of the hallway to the other.
Okay.
Let's see here. Where am I? I had a bunch of letter tokens here. Like just numbers, just letters. I'm just going to do the letter U. They seem to be gone. Okay, I guess it doesn't come with this set. Let's see here.
Cast message on everyone except for Bakai. I can only do 4 people right now.
All right, let's just use this one here. Are you able to move that one around there, Naz? Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Do you want me to, is there a light spell or something you want me to attach to him, or?
Yeah, Dancing Lights.
Okay.
Looks like 4 people.
Okay. I'll just do, I've got the light spell will work for that. There we go. That should work. All right. Yeah, so Bakai and Zed get themselves together. Start following along.
He's gonna bang each square with the club. Just bong, 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 bong.
Okay.
Set off some traps. Bong, 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 bong.
All right, you get down to the second, or the stairs don't seem trapped. He makes his way all the way down to the second landing. The staircase descends another 20 feet before opening into a room down below. From this landing, you can hear strange sounds emanating from the chamber below, specifically chirping birds, rustling leaves, and cheery giggles. The landing itself is bare, save for an empty iron torch sconce mounted on the south wall, which you can probably see on your map.
Bird sounds?
Bird sounds, cheery giggles, and the rustling of leaves.
Okay.
Okay, so into that room up ahead, you watch him. Let me open that up. There we go. You watch him descend into the room down below. You kind of get a decent look at it from the stairs.
Looks like there's a knobby thing here on the landing.
That's the torch sconce.
Oh, okay.
The staircase ends at a 40-foot square room with a 10-foot high ceiling. A slight draft blows up from the room from a 10-foot wide open passage in the far wall directly across from the stairs. 2 4-foot diameter circular doors are set into the middle of the south wall. Each door is made of wood and framed with a ring of mortared stone. The westernmost door is closed and inscribed with a strange glyph. The easternmost door bears a different glyph but rests half open. The half-open door reveals an iron rim of gear-like teeth, and dim light spills from the chamber beyond. Mounted to the walls of the room are 12 tarnished copper masks. The masks are 2 feet tall and cling 4 feet above the floor. Each one depicts a smiling gnome's visage, like almost like a harlequin mask. The soft giggling, chirping, and rustling noises seems to pour from the very walls. So as he's making his way around, you're probably detecting magic, are you?
I cast that already.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is your first something that pings on it. So each of these masks, very faint, almost insignificant, but still the illusion school. And you also get a ping from the room to the south. Faint evocation.
Well, I'm going to take my club and smash some of these masks, or the unseen servant will.
Okay. He doesn't really have enough force to do a lot of damage, but he's hitting the masks.
Yeah.
Maybe minor dents.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Open this door.
Okay, so that door, let me give you a description of what that door looks like. It's probably easier just to show you a picture. What all these doors look like. And in the middle of each room in the center is a square hole. The The door that's slightly open has faint evocation, and the door that's closed also has a faint evocation. But beyond that, inside the room itself is another ping of faint evocation. So that door is half open, and when the unseen servant enters in through the door, a little pebble rolls out into the room with the giggling masks, and the door starts to roll closed. Not super fast, but it'd probably take 10 seconds or so for it to close.
Go pick up the pebble. What is it?
It's just a pebble.
Open the door.
Door doesn't open.
Oh, try and open this door.
Does not open.
Well, I cast open close on this door.
Okay, so when you go to interact with this door here, a cloud of acid bursts out.
Oh, no. Okay, now I try the door.
And it fills this area here. What's the staying power of an unseen servant for that?
That's a good question. Let me look. Let's see. Yeah, it does. It does. It's immune to everything.
Okay. What about the? Okay.
It doesn't say hit points, AC. Oh, here it goes. Let's see. 6 points of damage. 6 points of damage. No.
Any reflex saves or anything? Probably not. Would probably maybe be your reflex save.
It gets no saves.
Gets no saves.
It just eats it in the face. Oh well, he's got 1 hit point. He's like, whatever.
Okay.
Cast open, close the door. Open the door, buddy.
It does not open.
Oh man. Over here.
So, what exactly squirt acid at the unseen servant?
The door.
And was it like a trap or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we got experience.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me.
The map has been taken away. Oh, there it is.
I guess that 10-foot square is where the acid hit.
Yeah, and it takes a round to dissipate.
Ooh, what's in here? Anything exciting?
Let's see here. Okay, so you're moving. Okay, hang on a minute. You've gone past where you're supposed to be able to go.
I just kept running.
That door should be closed. Did I not put a door on it? There we go. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Okay.
Okay.
There is a description for that beyond too. Let me. So let's let everybody else kind of catch up. Other than the trap that was set off and the door that's now closed, I should actually. I didn't anticipate that. So let me seal this door off too. Okay. So what's everybody else doing?
I moved to the middle of the room, sort of like examining the surroundings. I think I saw Luna and the unseen servant go straight.
Yeah,
would be
straight
to the west.
Yep.
This door that sprayed acid I guess is still closed, right?
Yeah, it's still closed. Didn't open.
So that's where we're at right now. So I'm kind of like lighting up the room with my glowing poker.
Okay.
And I assume all of these little doodads are torch sconces.
No, those are the masks, the copper masks.
Oh, okay. And you said they were laughing, right? They were.
Yeah,
all
it's
giggling?
just the soft, like almost ephemeral sound of giggling, and then you can hear the sound of like chirping birds and rustling leaves. And
So is the giggling like children giggling, like playful and friendly, or
Yes.
is it like sinister? Okay.
yeah, it's playful and friendly. All right, Luna, you get to a long hallway. The corridor ends with a pair of circular doors to the west and east in the direction that you're looking down. And dust and debris cover the floor. You've got those kind of gear doors all down this hallway, including that little area that you got to that you weren't supposed to get to. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And as your guy moves down, and this is the if you remember Pickett's description of the map, this was the area of the illusionary wall.
Yeah.
So as your servant, what's the most weight he can carry? It's 15 pounds, right?
I don't know. No, I think it's more. Let me see. Lift 20 pounds, drag 100 pounds.
Okay. So let's say he's got between 5 and 20 pounds worth of stuff, like the shield and the...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he gets to the wall and poke like he's been doing, and you can see the club goes through the wall.
Let's go, buddy.
And then when you get to there, I'm going to get you to make a reflex save for me.
For me or for him?
For you.
Oh, no. I laugh at this.
Okay. So which way are you going to jump? Are you going to jump into the room or are you going to jump back? The floor seems to go out from under you.
Boom, in.
Okay. So you go in and the floor tips on a pivot and spins back around into the closed position. And you just avoid falling into a pit.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And in this chamber, carved into the south wall is a large map showing various interconnecting rooms and corridors. The lines of the map glow faintly, but do not shed enough light to illuminate the chamber. And the pit was right here.
Are we, the rest of us, going to catch up to Luna? Or is that the plan?
Is it safe to catch up to Luna? Because I wandered off for a moment.
He had a trap, but it was outside of my field of vision, so I don't know exactly where the trap is.
With my servant in, I can't grab them.
Oh, okay.
Could you put light on me? I'm trying.
There we go.
I see a split.
Yeah, I can put
don't
light
know.
on you too.
Thank you.
I see where they are.
There's a trap over here. Be careful.
Can you not make it so it doesn't trap? Don't go
I'm
very
good.
far, Asami. There's a trap somewhere.
Right, I can't see where if he went north or south. So I
He
don't
did
know.
go south, but I don't know where the trap is from the south of here. But he says
Here,
she says there is
put
one.
my my long spear, and I'll tap it through the wall.
Okay, so you see a spear emerge through the wall, and you can see the light that's... I don't know if it lights on the spear or not. But you can...
Sure.
Yeah. You can see it comes through the wall.
You do not wish us to go that way, then?
Oh, there's a pit, so be careful.
Can you lock it so the pit doesn't drop?
Oh, I'm a wizard, not a rogue.
Asami, be careful.
Where that 5-foot marker is that the trap?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my chalk and sort of mark on the floor just short of it. And
Okay.
trap.
All
With
right.
a little arrow and a sad face.
All right. So Bakai also checks it out, and she gets down on her hands and knees, and the floor. It can take about 50 pounds of weight before it pivots, and it just spins right back around underneath. Like she can push it down enough that she can see down. It's 10 feet deep, and there's a bunch of spikes at the bottom, and it looks like there's.
I am more than 50 pounds.
I think everybody in this group is, except for the servant. She says it looks like there's a way to secure it. There's mechanisms here. I'd have to see if I can jimmy one. Or we could just avoid it.
Hold your ankles or anything?
I don't think so. I could try it. We know where it is. Just don't jump on the floor there. Should be okay.
Is there a door beyond the trap?
Just a wall. But you've seen Luna's spear.
Yes, Luna said that the wall is fake, but the trap is real.
Oh, okay.
So I'm waiting until...
Yeah, so Bakai thinks she's got it, and she presses down on it, and it doesn't move anymore. And when she did that, you heard the sound of like a clunking noise. Somewhere...
Aevus steps on it?
Somewhere in the rest of these walls here. Something adjusted.
Nothing happens when Aevus stepped on it?
Nope.
Oh, hello.
Ah, right through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got... I'll give you the description for this one too. Yeah, carved in the south wall is a map showing the various interconnected rooms and corridors. The lines of the map glow faintly but do not shed enough light to illuminate the chamber. And there is 2 more gear doors. We'll just call them what they are. They're just doors that are shaped like gears. One is to the west and one is to the east.
Do they have different runes on them, like the runes on the bottom of the map?
They sure do.
So each of them is a letter representation of the rune.
Correct.
Okay.
So you match the one up to the east and is the letter Z, and the one to the west is the letter E.
I wonder what order we're supposed to go through them in. Because if it's Jazzed Rune, then the Z and the E are very far apart.
said to the east is the Z or Z,
Yes.
where Sami's standing now.
Zed says I'm right here.
Oh, I thought it was letters on the walls.
No, it is.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yep.
So Zed's over there and over here. That's amazing.
Zed's everywhere. Each door has a magical radiance, faint evocation.
That means fireball in your face.
That's acid trip. Isn't somebody here resist acid?
No, I think that's the Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And for a limited amount of time.
She can, but she doesn't know it yet because no one's sprayed her with acid yet.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, I do have acid resistance. You're correct.
Yeah, so let's set this off.
But Guy says, do you want me to try to
Why don't we
pick the
find?
lock?
Can we go down the rest of the open corridors to see if there's a rhyme or reason?
It looks like you might be at the end of the open corridors. You haven't explored completely to the north yet, but according to your map, it's all doors and rooms.
They contracted the door lords when they built this place.
So you said the map had glowing runes on them?
No, the map itself glows.
Like
the map on the
one
wall.
color or...
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you consult like the player's map kind of thing, which is this.
Yeah.
You guys are now right here. And it's just these doors. If you can figure out some way to open these doors. This is about as far as you can go without opening. But according to this map, there's areas beyond these two doors in this room, or maybe you wanted to go and investigate some of the other doors.
Well, back in the first room with the laughing masks, there's two rooms that spit the acid.
Yeah, and as soon as and what happened too was there was a door that was half opened, and when the unseen servant went through, a pebble flew into the room. Looked like it might have been in the door jamb, and then the door itself started closing. So the unseen servant came out, but there was a glow coming from that open door. And then it closed.
And more than likely squirt acid at us again unless we disable that.
It was the other door that squirted acid.
Oh, okay. And then these doors, like the hallway we went through, opposite side of us to the north, looks like there's 5 rooms that are by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we go through these doors, we got this the entire place open. We want to eliminate the ones that have dead ends.
Don't know.
It's up to y'all.
And it looks like there's 2 rooms
We start
right
with the
here.
ones in the main area and work our way deeper.
You also remember Pickett's story that he got this far. This was as far as he got. And he was copying the map after, and he was doing it on the leather, so it was taking a bit of time. He said he spent a couple hours in here, and then he felt a dark presence, and it chased him up to his house. He sealed the door off with the finger bone that he had found, but he didn't tell you where he found the finger bone. He just said he found it down here.
Okay. This Where the trap is, the pit trap.
Yes.
Are there obvious doors to the left and right, east and west of the pit trap?
There are. They are those gear doors. It's hard for me to be able to tell what you guys can see on the map and what appears as a door.
Well, where do we want to go? Door-wise.
I'm just trying to find my character.
Bakai has disabled device, so she can try it. If she fails, she might set off a trap.
But if she gets injured to 0 or below, she just disappears and gets resummoned.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah.
Did I not seal that off? No, that's supposed to be
Apparently
closed.
not.
Yeah, that's supposed to be closed.
I noticed I could open it. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I didn't see anything.
That is a J gear door. The door in the hallway to the left is an A. On the other side of the trap is an R. According to your map. And the runes match up the little glyphs on the map that Pickett had etched in.
Well, did we see a J?
There was a J, yes.
Let's try that one first, since that's
that would be back in the main room.
Yeah.
And there's also one in the hallway as well. That was the door that was open where Arthur and Luna had gotten to.
Isn't that you said that was where the J was?
That was the J is right here on the map. On that
So this
door.
is the J?
That's a J, and in the main room is also a J with the acid trap.
There's multiple. Why would there be multiple letters? Because there's only one J in Jazzatron.
Don't you hate puzzle dungeons?
I am not a dungeon runner. She's like me.
Now, the only letters in the room we're currently in is the Z and the...
Yeah. E and Z.
E.
So if we touch the wrong J, is that why the acid splash happened?
You think maybe it was because there was some manipulation of the door. What's his Unseen was banging on it with his club.
It'd be like Beetlejuice. This says Jazzatron, 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 right? There's 3 instead of 1.
There is a positive to this. You've never seen so many magical auras.
Yeah.
You weren't even really sure a place like this existed. If you had to guess, you'd probably guess that you're 40, 50, 60 feet below the surface of the streets of Lankhmar. There's no stench of sewer rot. Despite everything being dusty, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of doesn't look like there's any activity walking around. There's no footprints, or it doesn't seem like there's any humanoid activity of any sort. There's a lot of like little spiders, and you occasionally see a rat footprint here and there. The doors, the wood, despite the age, has held up extremely well over the years. The metal on the gear door and that attaches it to the stone is unrusted. The runners around the edge of the door. When the first door was open, it kind of merged into the wall, like almost like a nested door. I forget what they're actually called.
It's flush.
Yeah, it goes into the wall. When you saw it half open, it was half in the wall, half out. Seemed pretty thick and pretty sturdy.
This thing to the south in the room that we're in kind of juts out from the wall.
That's
What
the
is
map.
that?
That's the lit up map. That
Oh, okay.
matches your player's map. That's where
Oh, okay.
That's where Pickett got the cop. This is where Pickett made
That's
his
what he
copy of the
copied.
map from. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Ideas? Thoughts?
Does the map on the wall glow with
Yeah.
detect magic?
Yes. Faint illusion.
Touch it with the poker.
Yep. Touch it with the poker. Nothing goes through the the illusion is the light. It's actually physically carved into the wall.
Oh, okay.
The
Typical illusion. Usually. Location.
That might be
Well,
the DM mistake.
It could also be a shadow. To be fair.
It's like a fairy fire. What is that? I always thought that was illusion, but maybe that's
I think
evocation.
Fairy fire, I think, is conjuration.
Conjuration.
Think.
Okay.
I think. Could be.
The stonework itself is expertly crafted. It doesn't seem like blocks or anything. It seems like it was bored out and then
Like they carved it out in the...
like they carved it out of the actual bedrock of the city.
Very
And
cool.
it's all like polished to a nice, like sanded down to a nice flat. It's level. There isn't any decorative bricks carved into it or anything. It's just it's fairly seamless.
Fairy fire is an evocation. Found out.
There we go. So fate evocation then.
Well, which door do we want to try first?
So, just to briefly make sure I'm on the same page, we have the little map that shows us what the runes represent, and we were given a clue. Jazzajune, was it?
Yeah, that's Pickett remembered the name of the wizard was Jazzadrune, and then
Jazzadrune. Okay.
yeah, he had seen all these different letters on all these doors, and kind of put it all together and copied each rune.
Where do we see the
rune is in
J?
the rune is in a language called Undercity, which is Zed's familiar with it. You said
Do we encounter?
yeah.
Yeah, do we encounter a J?
Yeah, you countered 2 so far. You countered 1, and it sprayed acid at Luna's spectral butler. And the other one is right by where Aevus is.
Well, we better try.
Which one do you want to try? The one where Aevus is?
The one that. Yeah, let's try the one where Aevus is.
Okay.
Do we still have the unseen servant, or has that been destroyed?
No, it lasts for a while. It lasts for hours, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh, can it not be damaged?
Oh, it survived it. It took some damage.
It didn't croak.
Didn't croak. Wasn't enough to blink it out.
I would not stand closer behind me for when I touch this.
I'll stand over here.
I will also briefly say, I imagine Mage Hand having 5 pounds is not enough to open the door. Imagine it needs a little bit more strength.
Yeah, you probably need. They're probably locked. You probably need some kind of key, which is the would go in the little square in the middle of the glyph on the door. But Kai could try and disable device to open it up.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Pardon me.
Okay.
Are they
Splinter.
open-mouthed?
Some of the masks, yeah.
Can I see anything in the mouths?
No, just the wall behind. But when you check the masks out, because they're about 4 feet off the ground, they're about 2 feet tall total.
So eye level for Aevus, got it.
They're kind of like not Harlequin masks, but
Carnival?
like the Actors Guild. What do they call those masks? They have the frowny face and then the happy face, and
Oh, right.
do you know what I mean?
I know what mask you mean.
I might have to Google Actors Guild mask.
Yeah. Are there any runes associated with a particular mask? Like, is it on the mask or below?
No,
the mask?
not at all.
Okay.
But the masks themselves, here's a not the greatest example, but maybe I can copy an image here. The masks themselves are attached to the wall, kind of seamlessly. It's almost as if they are stuck to the wall, either with like some kind of magic or some kind of like magnetism or some kind of force that holds them there. You can tug on them all you want and you won't get them off. I'll see if I can give you a rough idea of what they look like here. I didn't quite find the description.
What I'm seeing is they're called drama masks.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I'm finding.
You know the masks, and then they always have like the ribbons between them, and then there's two. There's one happy and one sad.
Yeah, because you have comedy and tragedy.
Yeah.
It goes back to Greek.
Let's see here. There we go. I should have did this before. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know I wouldn't be able to adequately describe them. But not dissimilar to this. And there's a dozen of them, and they're all in various stages of emotion. And they're sealed to the wall somehow. You look behind, you can like shine a little light behind them or something like that, and it's just wall. It's just empty. Doesn't seem to be anything in them.
Art?
It looks like it's just maybe art.
The official server's not fighting. Game
Are they like Harlequin masks? Maybe no.
supposed to be upgraded to Unreal Engine 5, which should have been free, but people that own those
Yeah, Jazzadrune is only 9 letters, though.
Yeah, I counted that too.
Yeah, there we go. Like the comedy tragedy masks.
Mm-hmm.
Thela and Mel. Yeah, kind of like that.
bones.
Well, do we want to look into these first 2 rooms or move ahead on to where y'all were currently standing and pick one of those rooms?
Well, without a key, it would take somebody trying to lockpick them.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be keys somewhere.
Well, we already know that the bone key is inert for some long period of time, is that correct?
Yeah, but you did manage to siphon some power into it and kind of jumpstart it.
Play the new version.
Well, do we want to just try it, see what happens?
You can try it, or Bakai can just try and pick the lock.
I mean, it's supposed
That works.
Pick it.
All right, which one?
Yep, which one do we want to do? So we'll gather around.
Don't feel like reward.
In the map room, in the hallway, in the main room that you guys walked into. Avis, you can give me a perception check too while you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Right. Yep. You don't really notice anything further than each one of those masks is kind of like sealed to the wall somehow.
They're sealed to the wall. They're not carved out like the rest of it.
No, they're actually made of copper and they're untarnished and like you can pry on them all you want and they don't move.
So they're untarnished, underground, and what does the air temperature feel like?
It feels underground, like 50s. Bit of humidity. You would think that there would be rust.
Yeah, they should be rusted.
It should definitely be oxidation. It should same with the metal and the wood. This place has been sealed up for 70, 80 years. You would think that the wood would have rotted.
And there's an even number of both happy and comedy than tragedy.
Actually, there's different emotions too. There's they try to go through like a whole bunch of different emotions by just like they're almost like mask emojis.
I gotcha.
Each one's slightly different.
Okay, which door are we going to try first?
Kai's getting out her picks. Zed's doing a detect magic on the door right there where you guys look down the hallway. He says that's the door with the acid. From the same glyph, the J that was in that luminous.
How do you want me to push on it and potentially spring any traps so that you don't get hit with anything?
Wouldn't you get hit with something?
If it's acid, it won't be as harmful.
Oh, okay. So she moves away.
And then Aevus just knocks on it gently, like you were knocking on somebody's door.
Okay. So Avis interacts with the door and puff of acid in that 10-foot square that she's in. Give me a reflex save. Actually, I could just cast this on you. Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Yes. Since you made the save and my cast, you take half damage from this. So
then
9
I take no damage
before.
because I take no damage because I have 5 resist.
Okay, so
acid.
So you guys see this acid come out in like a cloud from the door. It's almost like it's definitely magic. It's not like mechanical attached to the door, or anything. Doesn't come out of a jet or anything like that. It manifests around the door. If anybody's watching with detect magic going, the magic goes from faint to I think the next one up is moderate, and it manifests around Aevus, who doesn't seem. I mean, she reacts to it, but doesn't seem to be harming her. Like she's not screaming in pain or anything like that. And the acid itself lingers in the air for about a round before it dissipates.
And then Avis kind of shrugs and then steps out of the way.
Okay, and then Bakai will try to pick the lock. So she gets in there and starts manipulating something. Boom, 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 boom. And she clicks. And the door slides open into the wall.
Ta-da.
Revealing a featureless 30-foot long hall connects two round doors. A narrow 5-foot diameter tunnel breaches the middle of the south wall and heads off into darkness. Stone debris litters the floor near the tunnel's mouth.
Avis will step through first.
I didn't do a very good job with these doors.
I see two paths, one
Yeah.
straight ahead and one to the left.
Straight ahead should be a door. The only exit to this room should be the one that you just opened, and like a tunnel, a 5-foot wide. Not even 5 foot wide. It's like a circular tunnel that has been bored out of the ground, through the wall.
Not on the map. It's on me notes that.
Okay, hang on. No, it's definitely not on the map. Can you guys see into it though from where you are? Not sure how.
Avis can. Yes.
Where on the map are we?
Okay, cool.
Trying to identify where we are on the map.
Yeah, it looks like
Bakai.
the tunnel has been dug.
Oh, I see where we are. Now I know.
And the far end of the room, the door is matches up with the eye glyph. Bakai takes a piece of the stone debris and lodges it in the door jamb, sitting like the pebble was. And the
It's a good idea. Keep the door open.
the J door, it moves a little bit until it encounters the it's almost like a safety switch on an automatic door these days. If something's in the way, it won't react. So it stays open. She seems rather proud of herself for having figured that out. And Zed tells her not to look so smug.
Well, do we want to investigate this tunnel that's not on the map? See if it leads somewhere interesting.
The tunnel itself is about 3.5, 4 feet high, so you have to crouch down to walk through. So anything that happens in these tunnels, I'm going to have to impose a squeezing penalty on you. I know how you like them.
Totally love those.
Squeezing is the worst condition ever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want Bakai to go first? Or what about the unseen servant?
Make the unseen servant go first.
Right. Luna, get your friend in here. Your new friend. What's his name?
Pathfinder.
Trapfinder. Trapfinder, up ahead. All right, so Trapfinder doesn't find any traps, but he does He makes it into another room. Nothing seems to happen or jump out at him or anything like that. And when you guys follow along and get in there eventually, rubble and splintered furniture fills this dark, 10-foot high room. Most of the detritus lies heaped between a pair of 5-foot diameter tunnels carved into the west and northwest walls. A wooden lever juts from an iron plate set into the west wall or into the east wall near the door. The lever looks like it can slide up or down. It's currently in the down position, and the door is the A door on the other side of the pit trap. You guess that beyond the A door would be the pit trap. And actually, the door is the lever is no longer in the down position. It's actually in the up position. Because Bakai manipulated that to clunk shut. That's a lever to keep the traps or to shut the lid on the pit trap. And keep it so it can bear weight. So deactivate it, which she did already. All right. Loon is pushing you.
Does the rail go, the hallway go further past the lever?
No, the lever is on the inside of this room.
I beat up boys a lot.
The wall is on the other side of. Imagine on the other side of the gear door, which is to this corner here. Let me put Bakai there. Like Bakai would be in front of the gear door here. On the other side of that is the pit trap. And that's where you heard the clunk come from when she manipulated the mechanism in the floor to the safe position for the pit trap.
All right, let's go down to follow Luna.
Okay. So Luna, nothing's happened to the unseen servant. The path goes both ways. To the south is a long way. She can't see the end of that. But to the north, it ends in a room. The rubble. Pile of rubble is beyond where it exits into the actual chamber itself. And nothing seems to happen to the unseen servant. We'll have Bakai follow in too. Okay, so you come to the rear side of the eye door from the hallway on the outside, and then you've got a set of stairs that lead up to a landing way, and it looks like it continues to the left and right. So I'll open those up once you get up to the landing, and it leads up to a chamber up above. And I'll give you a description. Marble staircases split this room into 3 levels. A rubble-strewn foyer to the east, where you just came through, a 10-foot square marble landing, and an upper hall supported by 2 pillars sculpted to resemble petrified trees. Between the pillars rests a graven throne. An elderly gnome wearing a silver crown is slumped in the throne, his soft snores echoing throughout the room. The 30-foot expanse of the wall behind the throne is carved with frescoes depicting a complex array of gears. Another noteworthy feature is the cherubic fey face carved in bas-relief on the west wall of the landing. And then as soon as
there's a gnome asleep in the chair.
Gnome asleep in the chair, and then the fey face carved into the wall. And as you guys get up to the landing, the fey face says, and of course your illusion magic is going off here. If you wish an audience with the king, place your finest coin in my mouth.
Are there any coins in the room or on the ground, on the floor?
No.
Aevus, Aevus shows a gold rope and it's like, do you want me to touch it?
See what it does, I guess.
She'll put a gold rope in it.
Okay, she puts a gold rook in it. So when she does that, the king starts to mumble in his sleep. Betrayed by a coward's magic, one by one we fade away. Jazdrun is lost, how tragic. We curse the vanishing day.
Does he say that like he's in a trance? Or
Yeah, like he's asleep, like he's sleep talking.
I'm not that kind of magic user. I'm just curious if it's a magical sleep stasis.
Oh, the now that you're close, the gnome almost looks like a holograph. The gnome king. Now that you're close enough, it's Arthur definitely recognizes this magic as an illusion. It's almost like a projection from the throne.
Like, would anybody recognize this particular gnome? Like, does he look like the guy we just saw above?
No. No familial resemblance or anything like that.
does it look like there's something projecting this illusion from somewhere? Or is it self-contained? Like, is there an explanation of how this illusion is staying put for so long?
No.
Too judgmental here.
You guys can make some perception checks if you want.
Yeah, I'm curious about the
And by the way, when you slotted the gold rilk into the mouth of the cherubic bas relief, it kind of vanished, and you sort of heard a clink somewhere in this room. Clink.
I rolled a 20, but it didn't actually roll properly. God damn it. I'll take a 19 instead.
Take a 19 though. The clink was in the left armrest of the throne.
The left.
Does it look like there might be a box to open to collect all the coins that have come throughout the ages?
When you search it enough, it looks like you can maybe jimmy it open.
What? It's no longer clean.
But Kai can do this with opening the.
She can.
One.
Yep.
Yeah.
She'll try that. All right. So let's see here. Bakai's disable device to jimmy it open. She opens it. But when she does, the gnome king seems to wake up. And he says, "Miser, what a paltry tribute. I curse you with clumsiness." And you kind of feel a wave of necromancy. And it washes over Bakai. Who has to make a will save. That she passes. She kind of leaps back. But the armrest is open. And within is a parcel of coins. and 2 rods. Each of these rods is about a foot long and has it's square. It has a rune graven in it that matches the glyphs on the doors, and it has like various notches near the end. So it looks like some manner of perhaps key.
Are these rods match?
Yes,
Are they stone?
they are metal. They're like a brass.
Go ahead and pick those up.
One is for the E glyph, and one is for the N glyph.
E and N. Okay.
And the
No rust on these either.
no, they look perfect. They look like they've never been used. Despite the fact that they've been sitting in a bed of like metal for who knows how long. And by the way, you get your gold broke back too.
Yay!
Why didn't that parcel have coins? Oh, it did. Okay. There wasn't all gold coins. There was 35 silver smaragds, 4 gold rilks. So that'd be 6 gold rilks, not 5. And these two keys. The effect from opening the hand rest, that was moderate necromancy. That doesn't seem to have bothered Bakai too much. All right, we'll put a pin in it here. You guys seem suitably confused by this dungeon.
It's a lot of thinking.
Yes, a lot of thinking.
Well, you've got the E and the N now, so you should be able to. There's
A couple doors.
There's 2 doors in this room. The one to the south is the N. The one to the north is a U.
Well, we got the end, so might as well do that one next.
Do that one next. All right. Well, there wasn't a ton of action tonight, but we got started.
Yeah. Well, the dungeon's empty. We don't have to fight anything.
It's perfect.
I mean,
Yeah,
traps are
extremely
a
empty.
challenge too, so you know.
Let me.
Perfectly.
Board is covered.
Not complaining, just for the record. James.
Let's see here. You guys are getting another 1,500, and then you'll be level 5.
Prestige.
All right.
Clearly.
Well, good game, guys.
Yeah.
There's this is a dangerous place. You'll run into stuff. This is the preliminaries.
That level up.
Yeah. This is one of my my favorite modules from Dungeon Magazine from way back in the day.
It does look interesting.
The map is spectacular. I found it on a Reddit page. Guy had redone it on I forget the name of it. It was so nice though. I had to map it out and then I had to wall it off, and then I just got to idly stalking it in the meantime, and then I was doing it in another room. I thought, I'll just save it as a parcel and bring it over here. You can use it for this. It kind of fits thematically.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it so far.
All right. Excellent.
Also, I just now noticed it's not Jazzadruid, it's jazzed rune.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
That might mean something. Anyway, thanks for playing along, guys.
Yep. Gotta
And-
roll out. We'll look forward to next time.
All right, we'll see you in 2
See you
weeks.
in 2 weeks. Night.
Bye.
Night, everybody.